Let's talk about one of the most difficult, most misunderstood emotions we all deal with: guilt. Today, we're going to look at it through a totally different lens, and it might just change everything you think you know about it.
Seriously, what if that awful, gut-wrenching feeling isn't there just to make you miserable? What if it's actually a super sophisticated, perfectly designed signal trying to lead you back to who you really are? Okay, let's get into this.
So, to really understand this, we've got to reframe what guilt even is. Stop seeing it as some kind of moral report card where you get an F and start seeing it for what it is, an internal alarm system. Yeah, it's a painful one, no doubt, but it has a very specific job to do.
Imagine an electric fence. The whole point of the fence is to give you a painful shock, right? But it's not trying to be cruel. It's just there to keep you inside a safe boundary. Well, guilt is your own personal electric fence. That painful zap is designed to get your attention, and get it fast, when you've strayed from your own deeply held values.
So what actually builds this fence? Well, at its very core, it's love. Specifically, a concept from psychologist Dr. Michael Lukens called committed benevolent interest. All that really means is that love isn't just a mushy feeling, it's an active promise to care about someone's well-being. This is the source code for our conscience. The promises we make from that place of love, they create the fence. And when we break one, we get the shock.
All right, let's break down that shock, To actually work with guilt, we have to understand what it's made of. This isn't just some vague, yucky feeling. It has a real structure, and it's making some very clear demands on us.
Real, authentic guilt always has these three parts. First, the breach. You crossed a line. You broke a promise that was rooted in that committed love we talked about. Second, there's the feeling itself. And let's be blunt, guilt is basically our own form of self-punishment for being bad at love. That's why it feels so awful and is so hard to just sit with, because deep down we feel like we deserve it. And third, that terrible feeling creates this powerful drive for action, for resolution, to go make things right.
And this is the part we always miss. The pain isn't the point, it's the engine. Guilt was designed by nature to feel terrible so that we would be powerfully motivated to do something about it. It's like a non-stop alarm that just keeps buzzing until we finally answer the call and finish the repair job.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting and really personal. That electric fence? It's not a one-size-fits-all deal. Nope. It's custom-built, totally unique to you. It's your metaphysical fence, the boundary of your very own conscience.
So your conscience, your fence, is 100% yours. It's not some ancient text. It's a huge, complex system with thousands of tiny, nuanced rules that you yourself have built out of your own capacity for love. And get this, it changes. The conscience you had when you were 15 is definitely not the one you have at 40. It's a living, breathing, evolving part of you.
This brings us to a super crucial point. When you cross your own fence, you feel authentic guilt. It has a real sting because it's coming from your own integrity, your own love. But when somebody else tries to make you feel bad by imposing their fence on you, that's guilting. It has no real power, no authentic shock. All it does is make you feel resentful because it's not coming from your own internal compass.
Okay, so we get the signal, we understand the shock. Now, how do we turn the darn thing off? How do we find that resolution the system is screaming for? Well, the good news is there's a clear, actionable path to get there.
This is the work right here. First, you have to take complete ownership. No excuses. This is your fence, your breach, your repair job. Second, you have to commit to a good faith repair. You have to genuinely try to fix what you broke. Third, what if direct repair isn't possible? Maybe the person isn't around anymore. Then you make proxy amends. You could help out their family or donate to a cause they believed in. And finally, after you've made a sincere effort, you earn the right to forgive yourself. You've done the work, you've served your time, and you can commute your own sentence.
This diagram of the emotioning circuit really shows what's going on inside us. See, when you break a promise, a circuit opens up. It just stays open, creating that constant, painful hum of guilt. The repair work, that's the action that finally closes the circuit and shuts off the signal. We're not just trying to make a bad feeling go away, we're seeking completion. We're trying to restore our conscience to a state of, peaceful integrity.
And we have to take a second to distinguish guilt from its toxic cousin, shame. It's so important. Guilt is all about your behavior. I did a bad thing. And that feeling drives you to repair it. But shame is about your identity. I am a bad person. And that feeling just makes you want to hide. It leads to paralysis. Guilt is a call to action. Shame is a life sentence.
So what happens when we don't do the work? What happens when we try to ignore the shock from the fence, pretend it's not there, and just try to outrun that feeling? Well, it's not pretty. This number is just staggering. Dr. Lukens estimates that 93% of adults are walking around with unresolved guilt, carrying this open, humming, painful circuit inside them. And this unresolved signal leads to a state of chronic and often totally unconscious self-punishment.
Because here's the deal. You can't just wish it away. Trying to talk yourself out of your guilt is actually the worst thing you can do. All it does is push that machinery of self-punishment underground, where it operates subconsciously. This is why you might find yourself sabotaging your own success or killing your dreams, seemingly by accident. Because deep down, a part of you doesn't feel like you deserve it.
And this is the ultimate price you pay. Since guilt is really an expression of love, it's the alarm that sounds when our love has been compromised. Avoiding that feeling requires you to numb your connection to love itself. Every single time you deny your guilt, you shrink your ability to feel and express love.
This quote really says it all. It's the brutal truth. When you consistently run from your own conscience, when you systematically tear down your own moral fence just to avoid the shock, you erode the very thing that makes you normal. You literally lose yourself.
But listen, it absolutely does not have to be that way. The whole point of this internal system isn't to trap us, it's to free us. The goal is that deep, profound peace that only comes from living with integrity.
So let's reframe this one last time. That lingering, heavy feeling you might be carrying around from something that happened years ago, it is not a permanent stain on your soul. It is simply an incomplete task. It's a job waiting to be finished.
So I want to challenge you to see it that way, as an invitation to start the incredibly rewarding work of cleaning up your conscience, one repair promise at a time. It is the most direct path back to feeling whole and at peace in your own skin.
So don't be afraid of the shock. It's just trying to show you the way back home. The only real question left is, are you going to listen?